Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica. Thank you so much for clicking the link to watch my video. If you want to see more about this look, then keep on watching. So, I haven't posted a video in about 6 days and it's driving me absolutely bonkers. So I'm sorry for this space in videos, but I did give you guys a double feature last week, so hopefully that was enough to hold you over into this week. But I am going to be doing kind of like a mini chit chat, get ready with me, just to kind of talk with you guys. I'm priming my eyes using the Nars smudge proof eyeshadow base. And I'm just doing that so my eyeshadow looks poppin'. So I was supposed to, as you guys know, I went home to Kansas, and if you follow me on my social media, so all of my social media is at Ronnie Luke, and I will put it across the screen right now, so that way you guys can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, anything that's social media. I have the same user handle. I can't find, I'm like looking around for my brush right now. Guess I'll just use my fingers. So essentially I went to a bachelorette party. Like, if you guys don't know, I'm from Kansas. I'm a military brat, but that's where where my dad and mom were last stationed before my dad officially retired a little bit ago. So I just continued to live in Kansas or whatever. And I was looking for, I was hoping that I would be able to vlog during the whole trip to Kansas, but I don't know. I started to vlog and then it was kind of weird. So I have a lot of clips from the beginning, and the reason why I didn't post it and then do like an ending talking explanation is because I was like, oh, that's a waste of time. I don't want to waste people's time to watch a video of me talking and explaining why I didn't vlog. So I need to delete the clips, but the house was gorgeous. Ashley, I know she had a great time. By the way, she is my childhood best friend, so we went to middle school and high school together, so I grew up with her. She's one of the few friends that I made when I first moved to Kansas. And I know a lot of her friends, like I see them in pictures and stuff. They're mutual friends, but it's not like we hang out like that. So initially I was vlogging and I was like, okay, this is cool, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be lit, right? And it was, but then, I don't know, it just kind of felt weird. She had about 13 girls over her place, the Airbnb. I'm just gonna be using the Nubia palette, and this palette does not have colors names, so I'm gonna use this orange one as my transition, and then I'm gonna go in with this deeper brown in the crease. So essentially, I forgot what I was saying. I didn't want to vlog only because I felt like I didn't want to take the attention off her, which I know she wouldn't have cared because they all know that I do that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So I didn't want to take the attention off of her, which I know she wouldn't have cared, but still I kind of felt a little weird. And what made me feel a little bit more uncomfortable, I have no problem vlogging in public. Like, for me, I'm like, whatever. I vlog in public all the time, right? When I do vlog, and I don't ever feel bad about it because people just ask me, they just stare at me or ask me questions. I was gonna vlog, but then she had 13 girls in her entire, not her wedding party, like I'm a bridesmaid in her wedding party, and then there's 4 of us. So she has 2 maid of honors, and then I'm a bridesmaid with another girl. But her bachelorette party was a house. It looked like MTV Cribs. It was awesome. Well, not MTV Cribs. It looked like Real World. Like the little beds, like propped up for each girl. It was perfect Airbnb. But it was just weird to kind of vlog with all of them. And I kind of vibe off of people. So if I don't feel completely like comfortable, or if I feel like, you know, they're asking me too many questions or too much attention is on me, then I'm not going to do that, just because you want it to be all about her and you don't want the focus to be on yourself. And I feel like I naturally, like when you do something that's not normal, people tend to ask you a lot of questions, and that's fine. Like, it makes me feel fine. I'm just gonna deepen the crease a little bit using the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm using the shade Reaaaaal? I don't even know, the orange one. Just a little bit, because this is very pigmented. I didn't want her to feel like I was trying to take the attention away, which again, she doesn't care about stuff like that, and I know she wouldn't have felt that when it comes to me, but I I wasn't feeling it. So I ended up not vlogging. I think I'm gonna switch to the Anastasia, the Modern Renaissance palette, because I like this color. I said I would stop using this palette so much, but I've literally been in love. And I will be filming a favorites video for July because I actually have a lot of favorites. So I'm excited for that. So using the same crease brush, fluffy crease brush that I've been using, which is the, I think this is, I don't know, it says B Pro Crease. I'm not sure where I got this brush, but I'm gonna use this red brown color in the Juvia's, I'm gonna be using this red brown color in the Juvia's Place palette again, and then I'm gonna go back into the Anastasia and stay there. And this is just to deepen it up. Of course on camera you can't tell as much because, of course on camera you're not gonna be able to tell as much because my lights are all directed at me. Do you guys like it that I'm filming in front of just a white surface instead of my bedroom? I don't know. I'm trying to like switch it up a little bit in my house, and I have another filming area that I think I'm going to set up, but the problem is I don't like for people, I don't have anyone over anyways, but I kind of like my house to look like it's not lived in, so I don't like stuff to be out. And if I go and set it up out in my living area, because I have a huge living space, but I don't want, for just me, it's a lot for just me. I don't want it to like me to walk into my house and it looks like I just have stuff out. Even though right now my house, not gonna lie, it's a mess right now. Today's cleaning day and I need to clean because it's bothering me and I can't stand to have it like this. So I'm just going for a very kind of natural look today. Normally I've been doing a lot of bold looks lately, and that's because when I first started to wear makeup I barely put any makeup on. Like it literally was just like a flush of color, and I would think that I had a whole bunch of makeup on. So people would be like, do you have makeup on? I can't really tell. And now that I've learned, and that was years ago, like when I was, let's see, probably high school, senior year of high school, probably college, because I wasn't allowed to wear makeup in high school, so, which is fine, because nowadays girls grow up so fast, and I'm like, holy cow. Like, I know my parents were pretty strict because my dad always wanted his daughters to remember that inner beauty should come first, which props to you, Dad, because I really do think that the way my mother and my dad raised me and my sister, well, I don't want to speak for her, but the way that my mother and father raised me and my sister I really value things a lot differently than other people, so than my peers, and I noticed that. So, oh, I just blended my eyeshadow out with a crease brush. So I'm going to take the color Raw Sienna, and I'm just going to paint it over my lower lid just to meet out some color. And then I think I'm going to take Primavera and just paint it over my eyes as well. But I'm going to do a little bit of Fix Plus on here on my brush just to make it that wet look, because everyone loves a good wet look. This palette is so pigmented, I don't know why people hate on it. So I'm just blending it out so there's no harsh lines, and shabam. I think I'm going to deepen the outer corner using Cypress Umber in the Modern Renaissance palette. So let me go in here with a pointed brush. I'm gonna go dip my eye in that and just now I'm gonna blend it out. I'm gonna go ahead and do my liner and lashes. Okay, so I actually did my liner and lashes. I used the Red Cherry lashes in the Demi Wispy version. I really like these lashes. These are actually the very first lashes I used to wear all the time when I was learning how to put lashes on. I'm gonna go ahead and use, for foundation, I wanna try out the Stila Stay All Day foundation in the stick form. I tried this before and it looked good, but I don't know if I used it correctly. Sometimes stick foundations can be tricky because either they're too creamy and you're really oily all the time, or they dry really fast and then you don't have time to blend everything out. I think this one dries kind of fast because it dries into a powder finish. So I guess you could argue that you could do your concealer first, but I still want to do this foundation first before I do my concealer, just because I'm a creature of habit, but I do have my concealer on deck. So let's do this. I'm gonna go in and just draw big chunks like so. I'm gonna spray my brush using my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I'm just gonna spray the brush because I want it to have, again, a lot of moisture, since this foundation, it blends fine, but it dries pretty fast into a powder finish, like I said, so I want it to not dry too fast. You guys know I always have my scarf on just because I don't want to mix my hair products with my face. I think it looks really good. I'm not going to use the concealer that's in the cap because I want to actually highlight, and that one is more for canceling out darkness and giving you a teensy bit of a highlight, but as you guys know, I'm going to go for a lot. So I'm going to use an oldie but goodie. I'm going to use the LA Pro Girl Concealer in Fawn. Do what I used to do. I feel like I love going back into new products. I love going back into old products, and this is definitely one that I really like to use just because it was very pigmented and it spreads easy and it doesn't make you look cakey. Okay, I switched to a different brush because it was a little bit too big right there. I think I'm so used to using the Tarte one that I'm like, where's the coverage, you know? I notice it. I mean, it's still full coverage, but I think because I've been using the Tarte one for so long now, I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the coverage? But I look very natural right now, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't go back in. I am gonna go over it with this Maybelline Fit Me concealer just because I noticed that it's a little more patchy than I'd like for it to be, which is no big deal. I like the foundation, but I think for me, just because I'm so used to using a beauty blender, I don't know. I probably should try doing my concealer first. Okay, it's getting much better. I don't know, this is my second time using it. I feel like I'm not using it right. Something's not right, but. So there's my face so far. I think it looks really good. I am going to go ahead and cream contour on this just because I want to see. And just a disclaimer, I don't think that, and I'm sure you're like, okay, it doesn't look, like right now it looks okay. Like, okay. But I don't know if I'm using it wrong or if just because it sets very quickly. So when something sets very quickly and it leaves a powder finish, it's like putting cream on top of powder, which I think is what I did wrong the first time. And I tried to do it, I wanted to use it the same way again because I didn't know if it was me and that's why it wasn't working, but clearly I need to use, I think I need to do, you know when you do powder, you do your concealer and highlight first and then you powder over it. I think that's what this foundation needs to be. But I'm still gonna make it work because I always make everything work. But just know if you're using the Stila Stay All Day foundation in the stick version when it comes out, and it has hit stores, I believe, in Ulta, when you're using this foundation, you might want to try using your concealer and highlighter first and then doing that. Unless you're just doing a stick foundation and like a little bit of concealer with your finger, that's cool. But if you're doing like a full face like me, then I would do the concealer first. Okay, so now I'm trying out the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit in the shade Deep. I know I'm gonna use this one in the shade Carob. I have had this concealer palette for a really long time, and the reason why I haven't used it is because I forgot about it until I was going through my bags. Yep, it was still in my bags that I shopped with, which is really sad. I feel like I need to set this. Let me set my face first because I feel like this concealer is gonna keep moving if I don't set my face. I'm gonna go in with my Cover FX setting powder just because I don't want it to be too bright. And I'm just pressing this into my skin. You can roll it like this or you can press it. Usually when I roll it, I'm rolling it all over my face. And then I'm gonna go over that with a little bit of the Sasha Buttercup Cosmetic Powder, just because I want this to stay highlighted. And I feel like my Cover FX powder makes everything look natural, like it makes it into my skin tone, but I do want a little bit of highlight. So as my face messily sits in powder, I'm gonna go ahead and use that carob shade that I just told you guys about, and I'm going to, okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and blend out my face. I'm using my Real Technique setting brush and I'm just gonna rub it out. This is definitely a dark contour. I'm not used to, normally when I contour, I don't contour this deep just because, unless I'm going to an event or something. And then I'm going to use my concealer brush just to go over it. Alright, so my camera had to cool down, so I went ahead and did my mascara and my eyeliner. I just used my Rimmel eyeliner, and don't worry, I'll include everything in the description box. So for blush, I'm going to go in with the oldie but goodie. This is ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the color Juvia. You know what? I didn't even set my contour, which is a no-no. Let me do that. So I'm going to set my contour using the Sleek Contour Kit in Darkest Deep Dark, something like that. And I don't need a lot because it's very pigmented. And I'm skipping all these steps. So after I set my contour, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my powder. I like to do my powder over my contour just so that way my lines aren't super harsh. And so I'm using my Makeup Forever Duo Matte Powder. I'm just gonna lightly tap that, and then I'm gonna go over everything. Gotta set that area real good because I usually get smile lines. I never thought I would have smile lines as a problem, but I notice the more I wear, the more I put on my face, the more my smile lines come, which isn't. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my highlight, and then I'm gonna do my blush because I want my blush to kind of blend in with my highlight. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the Laura Geller highlight in the shade Gilded Honey, and I'm just going to like do that, and I'm using the Sephora brush. So I like to do it right there, and then I like to come all the way down to my apples of my cheeks. Just so it's like, ah. I feel like I look so funny without any blush. I just don't like that look of when my blush sits on top of my highlight. Like I like for my blush to kind of blend in with my highlight. I mean, I don't like the look when my highlight sits on top of my blush. So again, I'm using the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek blush in the color Cheerio. So I like to blend this over it, and then I'll go back over. If my highlight gets hidden, which is probably not possible with this one, then I'll go back over it with just the remnants, and just to make sure. I'm not bronzing today. Normally I bronze, but probably not gonna bronze. Maybe my forehead. And I'm just going to use my foundation brush just to make sure my highlight is all blended into my blush. And same on this side. And then I'm gonna pick up my highlighter brush, and I'm just gonna make sure the apples of my cheeks are popping like so. Okay, so I didn't set my nose contour yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna set it using my bronzer, the CoverGirl Queen Collection bronzer. I like to do a warm set on my nose just because when I do the Sleek Contour Kit, if I set it, it's a little bit too harsh. And I feel like this looks a little bit more natural as you can get. So I'm just setting that. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and just bronze a little bit of my forehead. So now that's all done. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my nose using my Gilded Honey highlight. I'm gonna use one highlight for today. I know I always mix a whole bunch of colors, but woo! I always like to do this step last, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my eyebrows using the Benefit Ready Set Brow. Looks like that. And I really like to use this to set my brows, but I like to do it at the very end just in case I mess up my brow, and then I have to fix it. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the NYX Proof It, which I think this is an eyeshadow base, but when my eyebrow hairs are too long, I'll use that to make sure they don't move. Because sometimes brow gel it doesn't have enough hold, believe it or not, for my eyebrows. Because as you can see, I have really long eyebrow hairs, so I'm trying to camouflage it right now because I need to go to my brow lady. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips, and I'm going to be using the MAC Cork pencil since I can't find Chestnut. She has gone off and ran away. So I'm gonna be using Cork, and I'm just gonna line my lips. This works too. It's not as dark as Chestnut. I use this one for when Chestnut's too dark. And I'm gonna be going in with the shade Dopey from ColourPop. I remember when this launched and it was sold out for forever, and then the formula was not good and they like had to go back to production and then relaunch this. And I remember I was like the first one to order it. I remember when ColourPop was like, if you had ColourPop, you were legit. And now there's just so many companies out there who are awesome. Like so many startup new companies. I'm trying to decide if I want a gloss or not. Alright, so that pretty much completes my look. Don't forget to check out my other videos and check out the video when I went to Canada. I vlogged that whole experience, so I hope you guys like it. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to all the new subscribers, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!